everyone, here we are, we're ready to go. I think everything's up and running, should be, hopefully. I haven't checked Facebook yet, so I will do so now just to make sure that everything is up and running and everyone's going well. We have everyone here, thankfully. Everything is going well. We should be ready to go in a few moments. Everyone's actually here and on time for once. Definitely yep, we're live. Sweet. Absolutely perfect. We shall go and welcome our players to the session. Here we go. On mute. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. We were just talking about country rum.
Country rum. Don't do country rum, but I mean, there's always a good bottle of the Captain on the go. It's kind of messing up my green screen, but it's so is mine. Mine's always in arm's reach. Is everyone good to go? Everyone had a good long week?
Yeah, we've all got our booze, so yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not allowed to drink booze because I've got work tomorrow morning, unfortunately. But hey ho! But that's why I've got a nice big bottle of juice.
Drink white cider; it doesn't count.
Oh God!
White cider most definitely counts.
The kind of stuff that in the 90s was like 20p for 5 litres in a single bottle.
Like $2.99 for 2 litres.
Yeah.
I imagine this is something that goes over the head of Americans.
Cheap swill. Ugh. The last time I drank cheap swill like that, I almost killed myself. See, that's the thing though. Like, and Kayla, you could ask Dakota about this. This was when I was 18, so this is going on 10 years ago now.
Is this the pyramid story?
Yes, the pyramid. Well, not quite the pyramid. This is like the beer ocean. I was a very untidy teenager, and I drank nothing but cheap shit from the store that was almost directly underneath me. And I had like an ocean of beer cans scattering my bedroom floor, so anytime I stood up and just kicked out, all you'd hear is just the clatter of cheap beer cans. And it almost killed me, so never doing that again.
Yeah, don't drink cheap shit.
Yeah, I learned that.
Shit, so you actually know your limits of like, shit, this is like...
That's why I've got the Captain.
Like, that's a good bit of my paycheck.
That's why I have the Captain. Don't you worry about that. Anyway, let's get us moving swiftly onwards. So, as we can definitely recap last week and definitely haven't forgotten most of everything that's happened. I'm just kidding with you. I don't know. I definitely remember what happened last week. You guys, after dealing with the ambush of the bounty hunters, I couldn't think of the words there. Looking for the new bounty that was on your head, Coralina, of 1.25 million gold pieces en route to Whitestone. You'd successfully fended them off, the two apparent leaders plane shifting someplace else, and the rest of their companions running into the Parchwood Timberlands, north and east view. Victorious and Neftari, you guys had successfully managed to send some bats and direwolves to go hunt down the guys that had ran away in hopes to either chase them down and run them down or have a survivor so that you could interrogate them. But unfortunately, the second part of the task was not construed over to your summoned fey creatures, and they ate all your your potential captives. Upon return, the cart and horses had been led off the road by your other companions. You had entered the magnificent mansion where there were some shenanigans that went down, which I can't quite remember, I'll be honest. But you managed to complete your long rest, and before long managed to complete the final 3-day trip up to Whitestone. You then spent the time getting the horses put away into the southwestern stables, while a couple of you were left outside. You did hear whispers of a potential werewolf threat off to the northeast in the localized section of the Parchwood Timberlands. But Victorious, while you were there, you'd managed to, speaking to the stable keep, know of a up and coming and quite popular inn to the southeast of the city of Whitestone, which was the Hydra's Ale House. You managed to all trek your way down there. You spoke to the owner of the inn, who was Shakad, who was a dwarven individual. He apparently seemed to be quite the mage himself, being able to cast very unique spells in the region of the front door of the inn and the area around the bar, which almost nullified all sound. And Corlina, upon presenting your pedigree, the proof of your lineage of being a lady of the House of Ramiel, you were allowed to stay within the 3-story tower, which he reserves for the most prestigious of guests, mainly mages and historians and such. But you're being royalty of some sort, he allowed you to stay within the tower. You guys are in the middle of a long rest, I'll say, in case anyone wants to start off the session with some shenanigan bullshit. Immediately glance to Kayla's webcam. And that's where we left off. So, what would you all like to do? Silence. Love it. Ask a simple question and it's just
Are we gonna do that thing we talked about the other day?
Potentially. That's up to you. If you want to do it, you can.
How late is it?
We'll say you're pushing on about 9 p.m. 9, close to 10 p.m.
Have we retired to the private area?
Yes, you've all. As of last session, you all you're past a key from Shikada, and you made your way up to the 3-story tower, which was completely segregated from the other sections of the inn. So you could go up. It was completely soundproof. You could do whatever you wanted up there, within reason, of course. And be in complete confinement up there, away from all the other patrons.
I think we can talk here without being overheard. That's the main reason we asked for this.
And a little extra security.
He's got there's some magic protecting this thing, so we should be safe from getting mugged in the middle of the night by thieves.
You have that problem?
Oh, we get kidnapped and all sorts, yeah.
That's mildly fine.
Yeah, it has been.
It's particularly incredible when they manage to steal from right under our feet something that one of us is holding, while the fully aware Warforged has no idea what's going on. It blinded me completely.
Didn't they steal a fully aware Warforged it's himself one night? He went to bed and then woke up in the middle of the Thieves Guild. It was... How'd they do that?
Yeah, so, magic protection, big tower.
Right.
Much better defense against getting kidnapped.
Yeah, that seems about true. Well, I grabbed my spellbook. I'm going to go figure a couple of things out. Yep. I'll blow a spell slot to get your boy sparkling. He'll entertain and conjure a very familiar square bottle, place it on the table.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure this out. Please don't alert me unless we're being attacked or is on fire. Because I'm gonna probably be need a couple.
Kayla, could you do us a massive favor and slightly turn down the sensitivity of your microphone? You keep cutting out every now and then.
Whoa, really? I thought she was real
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah, you just
Well,
picked
you've
up.
you've gone a little
Yeah.
quiet, and you keep cutting out every now and then. So if you just turn it down just a wee bit, that would be perfect.
How's this?
Much better, thank you.
Way
Okay.
better.
So, yeah. So I'm gonna be knee deep into a couple of things. I conjured the square bottle,
Yep.
put it down. Barkley is here. Barkley can entertain.
I can do what, my lady?
You are going to entertain the company of Prince Victorious and my companions.
Of course, I will do whatever my lady asks of me.
Right. Okay, so I'll go and find a bedroom. We're still doing that thing, DM?
Yeah.
Okay.
This can't be good.
Oh no, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Don't you guys worry.
Okay.
Pre-planned sounds to me like shenanigans.
Yeah.
Definitely not pre-planned. I mean, she just mentioned me several times about doing the
Bullshit.
thing that we've talked about over during the week, but
I
definitely not
so
pre-planned.
I usually contact Scott at least 4 different times during the week of, "Hey, I have this idea." And he's like, "Oh god. Why?"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I will go in to the first available bedroom and begin studying of what we
Your
have
new
previously.
your new spells that you're definitely
Yes.
going to need since you've hit 13th level, of course. So,
Of course.
Coralina heads up into the one of the many available bedrooms. Since this is a 3-story tower, each of you will get a room to yourself. As you enter, Coralina, it's not the prettiest place that you've seen going by like dwarven architecture, but it looks it's nice enough.
Does it have a bed and a desk?
It has a bed, it has a double bed, has a desk, has an ensuite
That's all I
bathroom.
need.
Like, so it is like fully furnished and ready to go. But there you are. For the
And
rest of
studying
you,
commences.
studying commences, and for the rest of you, as Carolina leaves on the table, there is the kind of intricately designed square glass bottle with a cork stopper on the top with that same kind of golden amber liquid that you'd seen recently. With Barkley, the Bloodhawk, just perched on the table next to it.
Dragonborn, any?
Absolutely. Let's make the most of that. Sir Barkley, so
Yes, Prince Victorious. What may I do for you?
you're entertaining us this evening, are you?
Yes, entertaining, as loose as that term may be. I guess I'm just keeping you company while my lady does her magic thing. If I had fingers, I would be waving them.
I'm gonna start moving slowly to my bow and an arrow on my back and go, are you good at dodging?
I would
What are you
highly
doing?
suggest you not do that, Sir Victorlus. If you were to accidentally injure me, I would disappear into Fey energy, and my lady would then have to resummon me. And not only that, it would be quite painful.
Yes,
Neftari,
I'm only joking.
Of course you are.
Neftari, can you turn into a small animal not dissimilar to the size of Sir?
I could turn into another Sir Barkley, and then
We
have
could
a-
put on a tiny
Oh
animal
God,
show.
please
I reckon we
do.
could have- we could have
Prince, I
pigeon
beg of you,
fights.
please stop him. Do not let the Neanderthal transform into a bloodhawk such as myself.
Temple just
Or-
stares blankly as this crow caws at him.
He's not a crow, he's a bloodhawk.
I was
I
just
don't know
sitting in the
that.
corner face palming.
No, come
That's
Bloodhawks-
racist.
Come Bloodhawks handle their alcohol? That's
Yes, let's have drinking games.
Barkley, take a sip of this.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna
you-
take the bottle and pour a capful of the bottle in.
Okay. You watch it, kind of like a crow does. Barclay just kind of hops over the table to the cap full of alcohol. Just kind of leans over. Okay, I guess if I'm to be the entertaining one, I should divulge in the same kind of alcoholic beverages that I will be sharing with you all for this evening. Leans over and dips his beak into the drink. I need a monster manual. B for Bloodhawk.
You guys are trying to get a bird drunk.
Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Barclay just kind of sits upright, well, stands upright after a few moments and just ruffles his feathers. And that is quite the beverage. But quite strong. I'm not going to be the only one drinking, am I, Prince Victorious?
No, I'm going to take the cups from my quiver
Mm-hmm.
and pour 3 or 4 cups of liquor and offer them around.
Okay, so who's drinking?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now
I
tell
will
me,
be
Victorious, I
holding a
know.
cup.
Okay, so Temple, are you just going to be holding an empty cup, or are you going to?
You can put something in your in it if you like, but I won't be drinking it.
Okay, so essentially an empty cup. Okay, Talar, are you drinking as well? Are you joining in?
She is not drinking, but she is going to be watching with,
Okay. All right, so we have one cap, 2 cups, well, two full cups and 1 empty cup for Temple.
Temple, can you can't taste the alcohol then? Can you smell it or anything? I'm sure I've
I
asked you
can
before.
obviously sense it and taste it, not really, and doesn't go anywhere when I drink it, but I do somehow suffer the effects. It's probably entirely psychological. I do a damn fine job of emulating the human mind.
Oh, go on, just have a cup.
Maybe it's my soul just getting drunk.
Maybe if you just imagine that you're drinking, it'll have the same effect.
Then I shall pretend this cup is full of alcoholic beverage.
Pour a bit in the cup, and you just to sort of waggle your finger around in the cup.
I would not allow you to do that.
No, you can do it for fun. I mean,
For you to sneak alcohol into this cup, you'd have to sneak it in somehow.
he would like to attempt to sneak alcohol into the cup.
All right, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check. And Temple, go ahead and roll me a perception check, and let's see if you spot this.
Yeah.
Check. Exclamation point C. Alright, so that's a 13 and a 7. Yeah, no. You managed to, not a lot, but you do manage to pour some into Temple's cup that Temple has just done on camera. Great, thanks. But yes, you now have some alcohol in your cup, Temple. So who's all drinking?
Yep.
Sip at mine. I don't drink not excessively, just gently sipping. Because I know this is Dragonborn whiskey. This has left me unconscious. So.
Okay.
I'm going to, in as few milliseconds as possible, perfectly imitate whatever Neftari is doing.
Okay. Go ahead and Temple, roll me a. Okay, well, actually, no question for you. Would you realize, as you imitate the actions, you obviously sense that the alcohol is in the cup. Would you Would you
I
drink
don't
it or
have
not?
lips, so I imagine it would just pour all over me and go where it goes.
All right. So, well, Temple initially, as you kind of imitate, you do feel a sloshing sensation on your face, and as you glance down, you see that there is that golden amber liquid dribbling down your face and down your armor plates. And as you look into the cup, you realize that Neftari has kind of tried to be sneaky and pour some alcohol into your cup. Victorious and Neftari, go ahead and roll me con saves. Victorious, how much did you drink?
Oh, I'm not going crazy. I know what this stuff can do to you. So.
Well, no. Well, the question begs though: are you nursing it, or did you take a solid gulp?
Oh no, I'm taking decent gulp. But
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not
no. Go ahead and
downing
roll me
the
another
entire thing.
Go ahead and roll me another con save. You're at disadvantage because this isn't Dragonborn whiskey. Okay, Neftari, the moment the liquid touches your lips and the moment you take the sip, the room immediately starts spinning. You have that really nice buzz in the back of your head. You're almost instantly intoxicated. Victorious, on the other hand, you've drank it not long before. You know how bad it can be, and you're able to resist passing out for a second time as you guys are drinking what you had down the stairs. Which is the Whitestone stuff.
Not the Dragonborn.
It's not Dragonborn, no, this is Whitestone.
Yeah.
This is Whitestone liquor. Because as you suddenly recall, Coralina can conjure anything she's tasted previously.
Can I tell it doesn't taste of Dragonborn?
It tastes.
I can tell you that.
It tastes actually on your what was it, an 8? No, you think it's just really strong Dragonborn whiskey.
Oh, it warms you up on a cold night, this, doesn't it?
Oh yes, it certainly does, and it actually tastes quite delicious. As Barclay leans over and starts to continue into his cap.
Oh God.
Okay.
Does Sir Barkley come down to earth a little more when he's at...
You'll have to wait and see if you keep drinking with him.
So, can you still fly after a sip?
I can most certainly fly. How dare you question my abilities to aviate? Yes, I can fly. I can flap my wings, of course.
This should be
It's something
entertaining.
to hand, which I could throw and see if Sir Barkley could catch it.
Well, I mean,
I've got arrows.
I mean,
I've got
throw
arrows.
me.
see, the thing is though, Neftari, Barclay can understand you, but you can't understand him.
Ah,
Because he can understand common, but only speaks Orin. So you can't actually physically understand him.
I'm going to turn to Sir Barkley. Sir Barkley, our friend Neftari wondered if you'd like to play chase with him.
I can understand the Neanderthal, but he can't understand me.
Yeah,
What do you imply,
that's-
Chase?
I think, like, he throws a ball and you bring it back.
Like some thick canine? Absolutely not. That is extremely beneath me.
How fast can you fly?
Let me defer to the monster manual here. I am
What do you
able.
think about that?
I can fly 10 feet per second. I will have you know.
it doesn't fly as fast as me. Did you
I,
want to race?
Oh dear.
I could most certainly outpace the Neanderthal, my prince.
He says he can definitely beat you in a race.
I could put his beak where his money where his mouth is, and money where his beak is.
I would if I had any money, you Neanderthal.
Well, we'll do it for drinks. Whoever loses the race has to drink another shot.
But a shot is extremely different when you're someone of my stature.
Oh no, we'll keep it as a cap for you, obviously considering your size.
Let's make it fair, shall we? I'll turn into a blood.
Okay, you turn into a bloodhawk. Oh God, why must you do such things?
He's not impressed.
Oh no, Neftari, since you've transformed into a bloodhawk, you
You can understand him.
You can understand them now. Because you speak Orin as a bloodhawk, you can understand them now. I despise you so much.
Do you reckon we could open that window there and race maybe 3 times around the tower, and then first one wins?
If that is what you desire of me to entertain you for the evening, then I shall race the inferior.
You've not won yet. We could make it really interesting. We could both have another capful of whiskey before we. Or do you think you're not as capable as Nectaria here?
I am extremely capable, and I am so capable that I could beat you with one wing strapped to my body with my eyes closed while being extremely intoxicated.
That sounds like an excellent plan. Has anyone got any string or rope?
In my armor, which is in my other form.
Well, why
I
don't we
still
just do it
have
while
handcuffs?
extremely intoxicated as the as Neftari has requested.
Another capful.
I'll pour out a capful and a small shot.
Okay. Neftari, are you shotting this?
No, I'm a bloodhawk now.
Yeah, so 2 caps.
Oh yeah,
so
okay, 2 caps.
capfuls.
Yeah, 2 tiny little caps.
Are you shotting it or not?
Yeah. And
Yeah, alright, cool. Go ahead and roll me a d20 at disadvantage. Exclamation point.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. The moment, like, well, Victoris, this is more for you. You see these 2 bloodhawks shot these caps of this liquid, and before they even turn around and look up to the window that still needs to be opened before they can go and fly for the race, they take 1 step forward before they both just flop over onto the table and pass out.
I was worried that was going to happen.
So much for that race.
Uh,
I was kind of looking forward to that.
yeah.
It's
Tell you what,
roll, by the way.
Natural 1.
Surely I must have.
You rolled a 3. No, absolutely not. You have no idea how strong this shit is. Do you want to actually know, like, based on Bloodhawk's constitution, do you want to know what you rolled for your save there? For this alcohol?
What
-7. To roll to save for this alcohol, you roll the save at a -10 modifier. That's how potent and strong this alcohol is. So at a 3, you're at -7. Barclay was at -9, so it's not as it's a little bit worse. But you guys were both like face plant the deck. In fact, actually, if you lose consciousness, don't you drop out of your your wild shape?
Is it concentration?
Nope. Yeah, Yep. Or as a bonus action, before reverting back to normal form, or as a bonus action, or if you fall unconscious, drop to 0 hit points or die. You've fallen unconscious, you revert back to your normal form. So the moment one Bloodhawk actually flumps over and passes out, it immediately just rapidly grows back into the shape of Nithari. Give it about 5 minutes later, as the three of you, Victorious Temple and Talaris, you guys are all absolutely creasing yourselves with laughter at the fact that these two, like what's just transpired for these two, they both come to consciousness. Who won? Was it me? I definitely won, right?
Neither of you won.
Pretty sure it was me.
No, absolutely not. I must have won. It must have been a rough landing.
You fell over. I was nearly at the window and you flew into me or something.
No, absolutely not. The Neanderthal is not talking straight. I definitely won.
Quick question: would Talar have noticed, like, as they're going across the table and they fell forward, which one was furthest forward towards the window?
Sorry, go ahead and call high or low for favorable conditions. High. Barclay was. On a roll of 4, Barclay was closer to the window.
That works. Neither of you actually took off, but Barkley was about an inch further forward than you were.
So I win by default. See, of course, I am the superior Bloodhawk.
Yeah.
Can I have another?
Yeah. So Barclay's claiming victory there. And sorry, to be honest, I'm not sure how you would have flown out the window, really, anyway. So, yeah, I think I might have to give that one to you, Sir Barkley. Have a drink. I'll pull another capful, hand it over to him.
Of course. It's delicious, thank you. Surprisingly, though, after taking a few beakfuls from this cap, he's still standing. He looked really unstable on his little Bloodhawk legs, but he's somehow still stable.
I'll take a small sip of mine as well.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a con save, please. Small sip is just a standard con, don't worry. 33, yeah, no problem. You're see, the DC is low to compensate for the fact that you're rolling at -10. But you're able to you're not exactly power through it. You can feel it burning. You can feel the intoxicant slowly taking over. But everything seems to be feeling just quite happier as you're much happier as you're continuing to drink this alcohol.
Okay, we should discuss what we're going to do in this town. Did anybody hear of an armor or anything? Where we're going to look for that?
Well, I think personally that you should just enjoy your time here. Well, you have some time to yourselves, which is quite interesting that you have such a task set upon yourselves, and you're not really stopping to smell the roses, as the humans say, I think.
What's he saying, Vic?
Something about smelling the roses and stopping and enjoying ourselves, which, given that an entire continent's possibly at the hands of an evil sorcerer conjuring demons.
As you guys are having this conversation, Barclay actually successfully manages to flap his wings and takes off from the table, and surprisingly lands on your shoulder, Nithari. And he kind of just looks at you. You're an interesting one. I can say that. Disgusting by all means, but you are. And as he lands on your shoulder, Nathari, you feel something a very strange sensation flow from your shoulder across your chest, and then up the side of your head to your ears, and almost like an old TV, like from static as it's been tuned into signal. You can hear Barclay speaking to you. I don't know what you've done to earn my lady's affection, but I guess I can put up with you if she can.
I can tell what you're saying. Am I that drunk? I'm about to shit on my shoulder, are you?
You can hear what I say.
Yeah.
Can this imbecile really hear what I say as he kind of looks over to you, Victorious?
I don't know. Say something like,
You are a imbecile. I do not like you. I'm definitely the better of the Bloodhawks, and I still don't understand
I'm
how.
not an imbecile. I don't particularly like you either, and I'll be a better Bloodhawk than you've ever.
well,
On a natural 19, he does successfully hit you as he pecks you in the side of the face. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage before he takes off and lands back on the table. Like, bastard! How dare you insult me like that? My lady, I don't know what's gotten over Carolina. I don't know what you've done to her, actually. It has to be something you've done, some kind of spell. How could she fall for someone like you? You're an imbecile.
well, it seems like you two have got a lot to catch up on. I'm gonna go and have a look around, and I'm gonna wander off. And as I'm doing so, I'm gonna take the cup of ale that I had stashed in my quiver from ages ago, because that stuff's bloody horrible. So I'm gonna sip on that, and I'm just gonna go for a little wander. I want to see if I can find a window, a view over kind of the city from where we are, and find myself a little meditation spot.
As you you managed to you can go up the stairs up to the third story of the tower, and they're in one of the 2 rooms that's available up there. There is one with an open balcony to the northwest, so you do get a nice open view that kind of looks over the open horizon of Whitestone. You can just see the soft orange embers of the torchlight that dots throughout the city. And actually, as you kind of make your way up, you can hear the slight clattering noise of talons on wood. And as you glance over your shoulder, Barclay is actually stumbling along behind you. I'm not to be caught dead with that imbecile. Claim he's a better Bloodhawk than I. He uses magic to transform into one. He isn't actually a Bloodhawk. He's a bastard, and I don't like him. How did Carolina fall for him? I don't know. What's wrong with her?
Barclay?
I asked my
it's easier if you hop up the stairs rather than like use your beak to claw yourself up them. I mean, fly. Come on, you can't be that drunk.
You can't be that drunk.
Of course, I am a Bloodhawk. Of course, I have wings. As you watch, he's on the first step up, kind of stands upright and fully extends his wings, and then just falls backward off the step and lands on his back. I don't. My prince, I don't mean to be such a bother, but could I ask some help, please?
I go down and I'm going to scoop Barkley up.
And
And
where are
like
you
a little
taking him?
babe on his back, so he's like cradled with belly
Oh,
up.
you're so nice, Prince Victorious.
Oh, yeah.
I wish my lady had fallen for someone with such esteem as yourself. But she fell for the Neanderthal. I don't know how, or why, or what he's done to her. Bastard.
I'm going to go and pick my cup back up off the
Yeah.
windowsill that I assumably put it on before I had
Yeah.
to walk down and pick this bird up. And then I'm going to go and find Coralina's room.
Yep.
I'm going to put Sir Barkley down.
Yeah. He manages to stumble onto his talons and just. Oh, where are we?
You're home now. I'm not allowed to knock on that door, so because I'll be in trouble. I've been told not to. However, I think it best that, given the events of the evening,
Of
it'd
course.
be proper for you to retire and check on
Of course.
the welfare of your princess.
A prince knows best, of course. There's a light pecking on the door, Coralina. Which you
Mage-hand open the door.
Yeah, you recognize the sound. You know it's not a knock of like a hand, knuckles rattling off the door, so you know this is Barkley. Mage hand open the door and a few hops and a stumble, and Barkley kind of glances up to you. My lady, I am one of the best bloodhawks in all of the prime material. I am so proud and honored that you have picked me in as your familiar. I may have said some things I shouldn't have, and you have taken advantage of me in my state, and I know you have. I'm sorry, and yeah, and Barkley just tumbles over and passes out on the floor like 3 feet into the doorway.
I'll ask him about this later. Maybe, scoop him up gently and just put him on the pillow of my bed, on the right side.
Yeah, mage hand, scoop up, pop down on the right hand pillow, mage hand, close the door. Victorious, were you watching this encounter?
No, I wouldn't have been. No, I would have walked away from the door immediately.
Okay, and we'll say that you've returned up to the top part of the tower to get to your meditation and look over the city of Whitestone. Meanwhile, Neftari, Temple, and Talar, after Victorious and Barkley have stumbled off, Barkley being extremely intoxicated and calling you all the names under the sun, Neftari. What are you guys doing now?
What do you think that was about? I could understand him. And he was
I would like the 3 of you actually to go ahead and roll me Arcana checks. 4, 13, and a natural 20 from Neftari. Okay, so Neftari, you're somewhat familiar with the possibility that a conjured familiar, the caster, such as the wizard, sorcerer, warlock, whomever is casting summoning the familiar, can actually cast spells through said familiar. So there is a solid likelihood that Coralina has been maybe spying on the group through Barkley while she's been in her room, and once Barkley was on your shoulder, used her ability to cast a spell through Barkley onto you, which allowed you to understand him. And Temple, you'd be somewhat aware of that fact as well. Talar, you have no idea how it happened.
saying, Carolina's fallen for me. Kind of thought she was just humoring me.
Maybe it's time to actually ask.
Okay, I'm gonna head upstairs to Carolina's room.
Okay. So, you make your way up the stairs. You have been strictly told not to disturb her, but are you going to do so?
Forgotten that. I get halfway up the stairs.
Talar's gonna call up behind him. I didn't mean right now.
I'm gonna turn around and head back down.
Turn around and head back down the stairs to not incur the wrath of the wizard, of course.
She's busy. So she's got spells to do.
Alright, so the three of you have anything else you're wanting to do this evening before you retire for your eventual long rest and technically your level up, because you haven't actually had your long rest yet?
I think Talar's pretty much done for the evening after the
Okay.
hilarity that ensued previously. Drunk birds.
Well,
Drunk birds, isn't it?
Drunk bird is singular, because the moment Neftari passed out, he no longer was a bird. Yeah, you guys all retire for the evening, or?
Enraged when
Sure.
he came.
Okay. Neftari?
I think he's probably just gonna sleep on the couch in the common area.
Okay. And Talar, you retiring as well, yeah?
Yep, she's attempting to find a room that has a decent view of the moon, if there is one.
There is, yeah. You head up to the top floor of the tower. You try the first room, but you actually see that the door's already been unlocked. Presumably Victorious has claimed this one for himself. The second room does have a balcony. It's not too. It's actually covering the southeast, the polar opposite side. You don't have a great view of Whitestone, but in the position that you are, you do have a really, like a quite. It's somewhat obscured by the cloud cover, since it is quite cold, and there is quite a not a massive amount, but there is some cloud cover, lightly obscured. It's about 3/4 moon at the moment.
She'll choose this room and then kind of prepare for sleep and spend about an hour meditating on the tier that she has.
Mhm.
And afterwards, of course, put it back in a safe spot and
Mhm.
head to sleep.
All right, cool. With that, if you would all like to go ahead and roll your long rests on D&D Beyond, if you haven't done so already, as you take your long rest, the night passes by without incident. Victorious, throughout your meditation, you can hear because you don't really fall asleep, you're just meditating, so you can hear the patrons that were in the bar down below all drunkenly leaving the tavern and returning home. But as the 4, 6, slash 8 hours all go by, you all successfully complete your long rest. We'll say it's about 5 o'clock in the morning, Victorious, when your meditation finally comes to an end after all of the shenanigans that happened last night, since you will be the first to rouse, as you only need your 4-hour meditation. Is there anything you would like to do prior to the rest of your party waking up and proceeding?
No, I
outwards?
think I want to spend the time from where we are, hopefully getting a bit of a gauge of the layout of the city.
So from where you are, You can see that the city itself is essentially divided. Has a central divide running along, and if you're looking at the map, you can see that there's like that central divide going straight down the middle. So there's a northern ward and a southern ward. Off to the north, just within your line of sight, you can see the large temple. That was the Temple of the Dawn. That was described to you by the stable keep. The altar of the Raven, even although it's there on the map, it's not actually there. That hasn't happened yet because this is a post Vox Machina map, so it doesn't count. And just off to the far north, you can see a few pinpricks of light on the battlements of the Whitestone Castle. Seems that there are still regular guards on patrol, keeping an eye on the castle perimeter and making sure that nobody tries to assault the lord and lady of the castle during their night's rest.
Cool. Now, just an idea of roughly where things are from a high position, just to.
Yeah, from where you are, you can get a rough estimate as to like how to get about the city. You don't know where everything is, of course, because you've not gone out to see where everything is. But you can see any side alleyways that actually lead from one side, like one street, to the opposite, and you can see where all of these streets kind of intersect and how to navigate the city, so that if something were to happen where you had to chase someone down or run away from something, you would be able to take the lead and navigate your way through the city without any issues.
And I'll spend a bit of time committing that to memory in the light of day as the sun rises, and then I'll head down and wait for the others to rise and
Okay.
breakfast it up.
Yeah. A couple hours later, Temple, as you're in your inanimate state, I would assume you'd be watching over Neftari, who fell asleep on the sofa in the common room of the tower. You're muted, by the way. We cannot hear you. Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be somewhere where I can see entrances and exits.
All
To
right.
guard my companion.
Cool. As Victorless makes his way down, you are like they are watching over Neftari, who's still sound asleep on the sofa. We will fast forward here, and unfortunately, I have to skip you for the time being, because you've got 2 hours before everyone else wakes up, and Victorless has just disappeared, probably to go get another alcoholic beverage himself. So, 2 hours go by. We'll start off with Coralina, since you didn't do that much last night. As the hours go by, the sun slowly rises, and the gentle, warm glow from the window kind of assaults your face as you slowly come to consciousness. As the morning comes to, what would you like to do?
So from where I went to bed last night, my spellbook would still be open up on my desk,
Uh
and I immediately go over to it and I flip through, making sure stuff still makes sense.
huh. Mm-hmm.
I figured it out. I figured it out.
You figured it out. You
Yeah,
figured what out?
my new spell.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a little bit giddy. Is Barkley still
Barclay's on the pillow. He's not unconscious. He's conscious. He's just kind of
he kind of
like-
just contemplating life?
yeah. He's just kind of like, oh, what did I say last night? How could? Oh, she's going to be so upset with me. And he glances over to you every now and then, but just kind of looks away. And you know his demeanor. You like he's been your best friend for
What'd you
a
do?
very long time. You know he feels guilty of something.
What did you do?
Absolutely nothing, my lady. I definitely didn't get extremely intoxicated and say things I definitely shouldn't have.
Any insight?
Yeah, go right ahead.
A 19.
19. Yeah, the fact that he's not looking at you, kind of hunched over demeanor, and the tone of voice suggests that he may not be telling the truth.
Barkley, what'd you do?
Absolutely nothing that I shouldn't have done. I definitely didn't get extremely intoxicated. Definitely didn't say things I shouldn't have.
Barkley, I don't care if you got extremely intoxicated. That's why I provided alcohol. But what'd you do? You aren't hurt or anything, are you?
I'm sorry?
You aren't hurt or anything, are you?
No, my pride, maybe, but no, physically, I'm fine. My back hurts, but that's because I fell over. Hmm.
But what'd you do? You're not gonna be mad, I promise.
After you definitely, without discussing with me, cast tongues through me when I was stood on Neftari's shoulder.
I thought it made sense since, you guys would all be talking together, and if there's a language barrier, then it wouldn't have been half
I
as much
may have
fun.
said something to him that I shouldn't have.
Like what?
How my lady has grown affectionate towards him, I do not know, and I called him a bastard several times. But he is a bastard, and he called my ability to being a bloodhawk into question and my ability to fly. He's a bastard, and I do not like him. Genuinely, how you become affectionate towards him, I do not know. You could do so much better than that.
Okay.
Absolute bastard.
Don't think he's sobered up yet.
Not quite.
It's a good day when you go to bed drunk and then you
Wake up still drunk. Yeah, it's been a really good night.
I promised I wouldn't be mad, Barkley. However,
Oh, don't you say it.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I didn't know you were going to let him listen to me properly.
You guys were all drinking together. I assumed you were just gonna tell stories like you usually do.
I normally would, but I do not like him. I don't like talking to him. He is a bastard. I will keep calling him that as much as I like. But
you know that's not what you're supposed to call him.
Well, perhaps sometimes I do not what my lady asks.
I know you've proven that last night, so I'm not mad. I am disappointed though.
Oh, you had to say you were not mad. You treat me like my mother. Not mad, not angry, just disappointed. Bah!
Just go back to sleep. I was able to at least get some work done last night.
I am sorry
Okay.
if it still means anything to you, my lady.
I understand and I accept your apology. I don't know how I'm gonna live anymore.
Well, you keep breathing, for one. Continue to consume food and drink your fluids. Get as much rest as possible. Don't throw yourself onto a sword. That would definitely help how you can keep living. I just glanced over to the camera. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Would you like any more advice on how to keep living? I'm very good at that.
No. Just
You were being metaphorical. I'll be quiet now, my lady. he just turns around. He just turns around, and then just kind of leans on his side on the pillow away from you. You can still hear him mutter under his breath.
Great. Well, that's a
Uh,
development. So, I guess
Your
instead
idea,
of
not
taking my
mine.
spell book. Yeah, I know. Still funny though.
Yeah, very.
So, um, so I will attempt to. No, I do have that spell, but I'm gonna wait to use it for later. I'm going to attempt to quietly open and close my door without trying to erase any suspicion.
Sleight of hand check.
Choice. Okay.
17.
Open it quietly, walk out, close quietly.
Everyone but Temple hears the subtle click of a door upstairs closing.
Okay. Try to quietly go down the stairs.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Hellfang spell today. Jesus Christ. No.
I just knew that was coming. Absolutely knew that was coming. As you're slowly making your way down the stairs, Victorious, Talar, Temple, and Netari, all down there, all just chatting amongst themselves. As you get to the last step, something you hadn't really caught on last night, it just creaks really loudly the moment you put any pressure on it. And as you glance up, you just see everyone just kind of, morning. They'll kind of look over to you like, hello.
Right, they really need to get this step fixed. Rather obnoxious.
It's an alarm, so we don't get sneaked up.
Right, I should have taken that into account.
How's Sir Barkley this morning?
Still drunk.
Good. Good to hear. He's a good drinker, that bird.
I
Yeah,
know.
we tried to have a race. We didn't get as far as the window.
That sounds like him.
Oh, and him and Netari can talk to each other now.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
that's
only
weird.
that was
isn't
only
it?
temporary since I thought there would be a language barrier there, so I mean, you can't really drink with people if you can't understand them, right?
Yeah. Sure, that's going to go extremely well.
I mean, it was only temporary.
Well, I found out I could understand him when I turned into a bloodhawk. Anyway,
Oh.
for some reason, I can't understand him.
In Corlia's
immediately,
mind,
you
she's
know?
like, I am so fucking dead. That's an interesting development. Speaking of developments, I have figured out a new spell.
Okay, cool. What does it do?
I can plane shift.
What?
Plane shift.
Yeah.
Everyone that's
so-
not
Okay.
Carolina, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. Let's see if you guys.
I mean, I would know that from my parents, I assume.
I think
I did
she
the wrong
told
one
us
again.
when we were at the portal, I think she told us then about the plane shift spell, but she couldn't do it at the time. Or something like that.
Yeah, she made mention of the a teleportation spell from one plane to another. Let's see here. 11, 6, 15, 8. Yeah, and you guys do recall that Coralina was discussing a spell that would a teleportation spell that would allow you to teleport from one plane of existence to another, from the prime material to the upper or lower planes, or to the elemental planes. So, with Corlina mentioning that she's managed to master the spell, it's now a possibility that you would be able to go to another plane of existence, like the Orin plane, or the Abyss, or anywhere else for that matter that's not on your current plane of existence.
That genius. So you have to run it. How many people can you take with you when you're playing ship?
Let's see so I don't misquote anybody.
Up to 8 willing creatures.
Yeah, so like all of us. And then plus a couple extra.
Would Sabakli automatically come with you if you were to plane ship?
I mean,
some nasty things
basically.
like
I
that.
mean, he came with me when I came through the first time. Plus, I can always dispel him, and then I can always bring him back.
So we're going to go and claim 1.25 million on the sorcerer then. The wizard. Hand her in. No.
I mean, if you want to, I'd...
Oh,
I assume there's some kind of trick behind that, like we get money and teleport her away. I don't really see the logic unless we use it as an opportunity to confront the people and prevent them from needing to kidnap her in the first place.
Well, we discussed it before. Just I don't like the idea.
Oh yes, weren't we going to polymorph me into Coralina, then have that be a surprise?
Yeah,
Then
I'm
I
pretty
just
sure we had
jump out of a window.
a whole plan all lined up there, but maybe not.
When we discussed it, we couldn't actually do it. We just talked about what if. Now we can do it.
Well, the way I see it, we've got the trouble on Coralina's back. We've got a thieves guild that we need to try and get to the bottom of. Even if they've left town, they might still be present here. I need to find an oath bow. That's kind of important to me. And wasn't there something about a werewolf?
I probably had to check out the temple for some reason, and it sounded like there's something funny going on at the Great Hall with the Lord and Lady up there as well.
Well, we need to gain access to them.
Do you think they might have a teleportation portal?
There was one mentioned back in Stillman about having one in Whitestone.
But where? Will it be the temple, or will it be
Someplace important, usually. Because you don't just put it in the middle of, a field and say, here you go, guys. Teleportation circle.
What's the posh house just to the north of here as well? Not the Great Hall, the big castle. There's one just on the next street over. Sorry,
Is that going to be there at the moment, DM?
Sorry,
say that again.
I don't really know this, do I? I was just looking at the map. So there's a map in the hall anywhere.
There's no map or anything like that in the tower itself, so you don't have the physical map that you can see on the on Roll20. That's there just for your benefit as players. Your characters don't have access to it physically.
Okay, let's forget I said that then.
I've got a pretty decent idea of the layout of the city. There's a large tree, a central square. Temples off to the northeast. I can see the lay of the land. Depends where we need to start looking first. We'd said that maybe dealing with this werewolf problem give us some grace with the royalty. But at the same time, we need to begin looking for any myriad members that may still be here. But access to those people is probably going to lead me to what I'm after, at least. I know bow's not
Myriad-
something
yeah,
easy to
well,
come by.
Well, I
how do
mean,
you
yeah,
think
that's.
Myriad-
I mean, at least I have the spell now, so we can do it whenever. So we can take down werewolves, I suppose.
Again, if we head to see your father and put the bounty, we could get this get what's basically a noose from around your neck. I fear that someone at any moment could try to kidnap you again.
Well, I mean,
Kill
they've
you.
tried.
Yeah, they were just amateurs. There was a couple of professionals with them, but most of their team were just amateurs. What if the Myriad have got set up in this city? Then there's a bunch of professional criminals running the place. If they know about your bounty, they might be harder to take care of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we want to go jumping into other planes before we've got all the information. Something to be taken lightly. Certainly things you meet in other planes are not things you meet in a city like this.
Well, I mean, as long as you stick to cities, it should be fine. I mean, with at least plane shifting, you go to somewhere you're familiar with, and I could technically take us to the front door.
So do you actually have land there? Is it all like floating castles, or
It's
did you
floating
live on
land masses, but yeah,
well, yeah, floating castles, floating land masses?
yes. But you'd have to be really careful. It's a very real possibility you fall to your death. That's actually quite common there.
Get to the end of the garden and just literally step off it and plummet.
I mean, yeah. But if you're arcanely inclined, typically they put safeguards in place, around the castle and stuff like that, so you don't like kill yourself that way. But
What do you hit? Because it's not generally the fall that kills you, but the thing that you hit at the bottom.
DM,
Technically speaking, you don't really fall to your death per se. It's not the fall that kills you, it's the starvation or dehydration that kills you, since you're falling into an endless void. So anyone who is, well, Carlina, you would know this. Anyone who has
they kind of just
fallen,
fall and we just never see them again.
yeah, like you can assume that they've just been falling into oblivion until the day they die, and then their corpse just continues to fall into oblivion.
Ooh. Well, I'm okay. At least I can turn into a bird when I need to.
Well, and I learned a new spell that I can take one person with me. To it's kind of like what I used to do, except I don't accidentally hurt people this time.
What spell's that?
It's a dimension door.
Where do you take them?
Anywhere I want within 500 feet, or if I can think of the room that's within that range.
Sounds a lot safer and less deadly.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I could do it right here. I'd like to cast dimension door, just poof,
Yeah, where are you
back
going?
upstairs to the room. Just up to the bedroom.
Up to the
To
bedroom.
where I was.
Cool.
Up to my bedroom.
Expend your fourth level spell slot.
And then I'll do it. And then I'll do it again a second later.
Okay, spend both your 2 of your 4th level spell slots.
See, it's like that. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah, it's much better. You can take people through that, can you?
Yeah, usually one person
Yes, one willing creature.
of my size or smaller.
But you're the smallest of us, so
Technically a medium size. So, temple is probably at my limit.
okay. What? And a door has just appeared right in the middle of the room. Is that right? How it works?
No, so essentially, as Corleana's cast the spell, a ovular portal of kind of a violet colored portal just opens up just behind her as she then takes a one step back, steps through it, and the portal just shuts close in on itself and disappears with like a kind of a violet spark of light, which then dissipates. And then another moment later, that same portal reappears exactly where it was previously. Coralina steps back through it, and then again the portal closes with a spark of, a spark of like kind of purple light behind her. So it is basically like well, now you're thinking with portals, except it's purple and not blue or orange.
Okay, that's cool.
But it did just cost her 2 4th level spell slots.
Yeah, I still don't care.
You've only got one of those left, remember?
I know.
Is that a new spell
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
You'll have to wait and see. Unless you're familiar with it. Do you know reverse gravity?
Am I familiar with it, DM?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check at advantage, please.
Okay.
Well, I'd quickly go ahead and also bring up.
26.
No, I'm kind of tempted just to go down to the busiest square in town and cast it just for fun to see what happens.
What does this spell do, Naftari?
It reverses gravity over quite a large area.
I mean, how high up are they going? Or just gone?
I think it was 100 feet. I remember it was 100 meters. Quite far. Yeah,
And then when they fall down from that, splat.
Yeah, Coralina. Zero, your youngest, or one of the youngest, of your siblings.
No, he's the youngest.
He is. Oh, he is the youngest. Okay. Yeah, the youngest of your siblings. He's been not really proficient with this spell the last you saw him, but he was making attempts at casting it, able to reverse the effects of gravity in a very small confined area. You would know that once this spell has been mastered, it can do it could do quite a bit of damage.
That's quite potent.
Yeah. Could cause some mayhem with this, couldn't it?
And possible injury.
Yeah, like walking into the central square of the city and casting it.
Yeah, I think that's like the opposite
Probably
of what
a
we
little
tend
bit.
to do with the lord and lady of this town.
Not gonna get us much favor with them.
Oh, would it be hilarious? We could do it on a market day. Imagine all the cows and the sheep and everything all floating up there. And
Oh my goodness. They
people
got
running-
sheep too?
running in all directions and just floating.
Oh no, they would fall upwards, so eventually it'll have to come down. And then you injure all the poor cows and sheep and stuff.
Yeah, it would be a big old mess to clean up. I mean, even if everyone's not dead, it's still going to be a lot of mess.
Does a 50-foot drop usually kill somebody, DM?
50 foot. A 100-foot drop can
Oh, is it?
definitely kill people. It's a 50-foot radius, 100-foot
my-
high cylinder.
Yeah, that can kill people.
A 100-foot drop would most definitely kill people that aren't seasoned adventurers.
Yeah, that could probably kill a lot of people.
And yeah, 50-foot radius, that's a 100-foot diameter.
That's
basically
a lot of dead sheep and
yeah, that's
cows
the
and people.
Dawnfather Square essentially. That would like this entire region here. Yeah, crap! I just clicked off into Google Chrome by mistake. Whoops! Yeah, relaunch that. Professional DM, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no. Basically, the entire region of the Dawnfather Square, would most definitely be afflicted by the
Yeah, probably wait to use that in combat.
Yeah, not
you would probably kill everyone that was in that square if you did that.
not in public places.
If someone if they weren't able to make the deck save and grab onto something solid to prevent them from just floating up into the air 100 feet, if they missed that, they would probably then plummet 100 feet to their imminent death.
This is a pretty good tree there. I think a lot of people could probably catch hold of that.
Yeah, but not a lot of people
Let's
are
just
dexterous as us.
let's just save it for dire use only.
I mean, fair enough. Did you learn any new spells overnight?
I spent some time meditating, and if you cut your finger off, I can put it back.
I thought you could
That's
do that
oddly
already.
specific.
Please don't cut your finger off.
No, I need these.
Yeah, I know. I said please don't.
Is that just fingers?
It was an example.
What about a foot?
Yes.
Leg?
Mhm.
Yes.
Is it just on body parts, or what if I break something? Can you stick anything back?
No.
Anything
You
that's been severed.
Yeah, you would know that a broken a broken bone. The healing magics would potentially fix the break or fracture, but there's no guarantee of that. But something severed, as per the spell's description, would be healed.
Would it work on temple?
Interesting question. Would you like to
Ah.
experiment?
Yeah, give me your hand,
No.
temple.
No, no, no.
Temple confidently raises one arm.
Perhaps not.
Here's my finger. Break it off.
Actually, I don't know the answer to that. Would that work on Temple?
Yes, it would
DM?
work on Temple. Temple,
It would,
Warforged
okay.
is a creature, so it would definitely work on Temple.
Okay.
It's also one of the very few healing spells that says that doesn't have the stipulation that it doesn't work on undead or constructs. Surprisingly, and the more you know.
And this is something I'd rather not just use arbitrarily. I'd rather save it for if we get into a serious fight or something, not just something to experiment with.
See, this is why we never cook our own food. Can't afford to lose the digits.
I mean, I don't need to.
Precisely. Or we're always staying at an inn, or whatever it may be. I
Hey,
mean,
Well,
If
the
I
room
can't
costs
use
is-
can't use these 2 fingers, then it's not much good to me, really.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could still grip the string of a bow with your ring finger and pinky finger, and just it'd be awkward as fuck. But I'm pretty sure
Manage somehow.
you can do that. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Alright, time to learn the other hand.
You just
Or
mentioned
yeah, just
cooking.
become ambidextrous and hold your bow in your right hand and draw the string with your left.
It does help to be ambidextrous.
It does. I've not tried it, but I will do the next perilous battle we get into.
No, preferably not when there's a big scary creature that really needs to die as soon as possible.
Well, no. But I mean,
Wait till you got a
Orin,
soft target where
common.
Well, always been able to shoot with both hands, so I don't see what the problem is.
So what are we
anyway,
gonna do?
you just mentioned cooking. Surely when the room costs this much, there should be a bit of a feast laid out for us this morning.
There is not actually. There's no feast. There's no food.
I mean, do you
Well,
something
you did say
immediately?
our food is included, right? So we could probably go down and get our food.
We can get food. What I want to know is, are we going to be today on the schedule? Are we going to be traveling to another plane, possibly to our deaths, or hunting a werewolf down, or exploring the city? You know, jumping to another plane and to the unexpected and possibly dying. Not that keen on. We've done worse.
I mean, like I said,
I'd like a hunt a werewolf that doesn't turn out to be a friend werewolf. That seems like fun.
Oh,
It is putting people's lives in danger, after all.
We don't even know if it exists. It was a couple of kids talking along the lines of, "Oh, I heard there was a werewolf in the forest."
It could be any manner of beasts, to be fair. All kinds of beasts are often miscommunicated and misunderstood what they're actually doing, what they even. But if people are being taken away, I'm not aware of the rumors, then we should probably do something about it.
We could ask around for information.
Scout around the city, see what we can find, see if we can get a sniff of the myriad, if they have set up camp
Then
here.
we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We look around for werewolves, learn about the city, learn about perhaps the myriad in this area, and we get to top it off by keeping the people of this city safe.
Assisting with the werewolf might help you with your bow as well.
We just need to get access to those up in the castle.
And wouldn't they want an audience with the people that saved their city from free rabid werewolves? As the
Exactly my
DM takes
thinking,
notes
Temple.
on exactly what I said. No.
yeah, that seems easier.
Of course, it would be a lot easier if they were just rabid dogs, but we should probably embellish the story if that is indeed.
Did anyone notice the moon last night?
No.
It was fairly covered. About, would you say, DM? Three quarters?
3/4 it was, yes.
It's about 3/4 full.
So we can estimate we're not going to have any stories around town for a few days. If that's how it still works.
We could still
Maybe it
search
doesn't.
for information at least.
Okay, Temple. Go and interrogate
Aye.
children. Put your friendly
Absolutely.
face on and your best hat.
Oh no.
He's only got one hat though.
It's his best hat.
My frowny face is on the front today. Would you like to reapply my makeup, Neftari?
Oh, okay. Well, you want a scary face today?
No, I want to be friendly for the children.
Okay.
I need them to look at me and immediately think, safe. Protector.
I'd like to draw a scary face, really. But okay.
Not
I'll
scary.
try to draw a
I
nice,
trust you, Neftari, wholeheartedly.
a
Oh,
nice,
no.
friendly clown face.
I get on my knees and just let him do whatever. Phrasing.
If you,
Phrasing.
yeah, phrasing.
Jeez.
If you don't want to
I mean,
let,
a hole's a hole.
I mean, yeah, a hole is a hole. If you want to get on your knees and let Neftari do whatever he wants, then you can most certainly let Neftari get. You can certainly get on your knees and let Neftari do whatever he wants.
The synopsis for your sex.
And you cut out there, so I didn't hear the last part of that.
Synopsis for a sex tape.
Right. Yes, Warforged gets on knees and lets Beasthide do whatever he wants. That'd be a
As I said, my trust is so wholehearted that consent is implicit.
okay. So, Neftari, what are you going to be drawing on Temple's bust?
Paint on me like one of your French girls.
Oh god.
Oh God.
Well, how to do a friendly face? I'm gonna give him
Here
a
you
big
go.
smile.
That's excellent.
Oh, that's so cute.
Big eyelashes on it as well.
Big eyelashes on it as well. Okay, yeah, cool. Go ahead, roll me a performance check. Eight.
Oh no.
I mean, it's simplistic enough. The eyes aren't exactly symmetrical. One of them isn't like. One of them's a really oddly shaped, like ovular, like oversized ovular shape. The other one's kind of just circular. The smile's off at a bit of an angle. The rosy cheeks are like really big and puffed out. It's not the best, but you know, it's in your eyes, it's a masterpiece.
Not the worst I've seen.
Friendly. Small
Holy
children?
Christ. Say that again.
Do they look friendly though to children? Small
I
children?
mean,
Looks like a child druid.
yeah,
So.
yes, basically that. And yes, that is the picture that you have. That is what you have on your face right now. I mean, it looks
Wow.
friendly enough. Probably be friendly to kids on an 8. Well, it was an 8, right? Yeah, on an 8. Yeah, probably be really friendly looking towards kids. Absolutely.
Look, as long as I can get close enough to them that they are under my aura of protection that prevents them from being frightened. But if they see me coming,
I actually need to double check that aura of protection.
just reports from the city guard of a giant metal man running around scaring children.
Where is the aura of protection?
And then Temples replies, "What metal man? I will smite him."
Yes.
Oh,
you
2
mean-
weeks of
Just spend
chasing
the whole
yourself.
day
Yeah, your aura of courage.
2
You mean,
weeks.
not
pursuing my own shadow. Look, I can see footprints. These are huge.
It's clearly some kind of warforged. Never met one before.
These wanted posters around, and they've all got the stupid face. Known to change his face.
right. So,
It must be a changeling.
what's the plan, guys? What are you guys going to be doing?
Are we like splitting up to go investigate or what?
Well, after we've had suitable breakfast and everything.
Breakfast,
Obviously.
wash, all that sort of stuff.
Pastry?
Out of the way.
Oh no.
Yeah, the moment you say
hang on.
breakfast, Coralina just boop, pastry in her hands. Nom. Look at the method acting by Coralina there. Actually munching on a pastry. I'm assuming it's pastry.
It's a Pop Tart.
It's a Pop-Tart. It's close enough.
That's not pastry.
It's close enough.
It's like how Velveeta is cheese.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so you guys heading down to get some breakfast?
Yeah, just munch on
Sounds
whatever
like a
they've
plan.
Right.
I'll put my disguise self on and go.
Okay. What are you disguising yourself as this time?
Same as yesterday.
As a was it B-side that you went down last time? Yeah.
Yeah, because people know the elf now.
Yeah. So you disguise yourself and you all head down. The tavern is it's quite populated. But as you kind of open the bottom door and step through the veil, like the veil that you feel you felt passing over you as you entered the kind of the soundproof region that would be the tower. It's not drunken, screaming, shouting, singing and stuff. It is quite lively. There are people that are inside having a conversation. There's the clatter of cutlery on plates and tankards being put down on tables and such. There's a myriad of different smells that fill the room. From what you can pick up, it's just an arrangement of different meats to toasted bread, butter, milks, teas, coffees, ale. It's a vast mixture, and as you kind of glance over to the bar, you can see Shakad there behind the bar, looking into the back room and seemingly giving orders to someone in the back. But you can't hear him from the shimmering veil that surrounds the bar. That is his soundproofing. So, what do you guys want to do? You want to go and speak to Shakad, or what's the plan?
I have
Well,
my pastry.
You have your patience, so you're fine.
I'll go and speak to him. Or everyone just a special whatever they do breakfast.
I'll have a coffee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's included.
Let's go and see what they're offering.
Okay. So,
Good morning, my good sir.
and you step through the veil. Suddenly the sound of all the chattering people and surprisingly actually the smell of all the food instantly vanishes as you step through. Shakad has his back to you as you step through, and he turns around and goes, "Oh, hi, good morning. Did you sleep well in the tower? It's hopefully up to your standards of your lady," as he kind of looks to you, Coralina, and gives you a nod.
Let's look to Carolina for approval.
Yeah, it was fine.
Well,
It was beds.
there's a bed to sleep on and a roof over your head. I guess you've been on the road for a while now, then, yeah.
Yeah, a bit.
I can understand that. Anyway, as was agreed upon, all your food is included. Food and drink is included with the price of the room. So feel free to order whatever you'd like. And let me know what you're having, and I'll get that drafted up as quickly as I possibly can for you. Of course, you will be my priority, being in the tower and all. But like the other lot, they can wait wherever you want. But just let me know what you want. Yeah.
Yeah. How long's this place been here?
I've had the place up and running for 7 months now. It's hard to keep track of the time when the days just fly by.
Was the general business of the city changed in that time?
Not really. The atmosphere's always been kind of doom and gloom. That's what happens when you're out here in the sticks and the freezing cold, and you know.
It's like home.
But
Yeah.
from the stories that I've been told, this place wasn't always doom and gloom. The Lord and Lady, they've not always been the ones in control. Apparently, there was an older family that unfortunately died out and left the control of the city to the Lord and Lady and their family. But before the old family, it wasn't. It was still doom and gloom, but it wasn't as bad apparently.
So the general populace of the city are not fans of the Lord and Lady?
They, well, you'll never hear anyone say out loud that they're not a fan of the Lord and Lady of Whitestone.
Well, no, that's a swift way to get killed.
Well, no, that's not a swift way to get killed. It's a swift way
Well, it
to.
is back home.
Well, yeah, but the way it's said here is a swift way to disappear and never be seen again. No one would actually be able to find your corpse, so there's no way to prove that you have been killed.
That is true. Usually we just throw them over.
Hmm. Well, that's one way to go, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
But
Usually,
there are a few people who openly will show their distaste for the current Lord and Lady, and every now and then they are put in their place. Their numbers have been dwindling rapidly to begin with, but it's kind of slowed down for now. They've kind of learned their lesson not to go out and badmouth the Lord and Lady of Whitestone.
yeah, certain simple corrections and all that. I mean, where I come from, I can't even say the C word in the house.
The C word.
Yeah.
Cunt.
No, coup.
Oh, cool. Right. Of course. My mistake.
I've been playing that joke for months.
So we've heard a rumor that someone might have a teleportation square in Whitestone. Would you happen to know?
Yeah, there is a teleportation circle. It's just to the north of the Dawnfather Square. The code itself is kind of worn down. You may need to inquire at the Temple of the Dawn to potentially figure out the actual code.
What? And
But
it's for public use. It's just out there in the open.
it's out there in the open, but it's not really for public use. Not many people have actually used it. Not since I've been here, anyway. There's not that many magically inclined individuals that stay in Whitestone, unless the Lord and Lady can find a use for them. The Lord and Lady were able to find a use for me with my ability to silence specific areas. They have used that to their advantage.
So have you had use of it?
Sorry?
Have you had use of the teleportation circle?
I personally have not. No, I have no need to use teleportation magic. I've travelled all over the place trying to find a good place to settle down, and when you go along to like Imon or Singhorn or Westeron, places that have got pre-established taverns that have been doing extremely well, anything that pops up that's new, it doesn't really work that well. But Whitestone, there's not that many pre-established taverns.
I mean, I was saying more for like getting your goods from point A to point B.
I could do that by myself, but then I would be stripping a job of the people of Whitestone. I'd rather employ the locals to do the job for me, because then not only am I bringing them some good entertainment and liquor to their city, but I'm also providing some form of employment for them as well. It benefits
Okay.
both parties like that.
Fair enough.
But yes,
Well,
the the sages, I guess you could call them, at the Temple of the Dawn. You'd best go there. They will probably have an old copy of the rune code. If you want a copy, I'm sure they could part ways with it so that you could come back to Whitestone whenever you please. But other than that, I don't know much else that I could tell you of the teleportation circle, I'm afraid.
That's it's the first teleportation circle we've heard of in the whole continent, actually.
Oh no, I mean, if you were to go around, like the cities
Well,
are,
more,
most of
yeah.
the cities are vast. If you were to go around and ask for one, there probably would be some private teleportation circle that someone may allow you access to if you pay them like an upfront fee. I know there's a teleportation circle in Mon. There's one to the surface of Craghammer. There is one in Singhorn, but it sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't with the state of the city. Westerun, I
the
think.
state of the city. Does it disappear?
Yes, actually, Singhorn, the Lord and Lady of Singhorn, they sometimes actually use their arcane abilities to translocate the entire city from the prime material to the Feywilds.
I need to learn how to do that.
And this has happened recently?
I think the recent state of Singhorn is it's on the prime material. I can't guarantee you that. You'd have to go down and take a look for yourself. But the last I heard, they had recently come back from the Feywild, so it's you'd have to go and take a look for yourself. I've not been that far down south for a while, so I couldn't guarantee you that it is here on the prime material.
That must take some really, really, really strong magic to.
They do have in the center of Singhorn. There is supposed to be what's called a lodestone, an ancient magical obelisk of sorts that's primed with heavy magical energy that they then utilize to cast the teleportation of the city.
My father used to use a similar technique when I was growing up.
So you've got experience with that sort of thing.
A little.
Well,
Sounds awesome.
apparently that's what they use, and I would love to get my hands on a lodestone because then I could do so much more with this place. But again, that's just what I've heard. For all I know, it could just be a collection of hundreds of magicians that combine their arcane prowess to teleport the city. I have no idea how it works.
I'm somewhat fearful his father would be after something like that if it is just an.
Who's father after what? After a lodestone?
I fear he's already surpassed needing one from what we've seen.
A single individual would need the use of a lodestone to cast anything like stronger than 9th level spells.
Oh, I think he's got something to.
There's only one known artifact in the entire prime material that's been able to cast a spell greater than 9th level, and last I heard, it's down in Stubborn. So,
Well, not anymore. Staff of Colossus, you mean?
aye, a staff of Curses. And what do you mean not
Well,
anymore? I've seen it. Well, the last time I was down there, which was not but 2 or 3 weeks ago, the staff of Curses is definitely down there.
We can assure you it is not.
Father stole it, and well, that's pretty much why we're here. We're on a quest to stop.
Your father's stolen the staff of Carsus.
As far as we can tell.
You're
You
being
should probably
serious,
keep
aren't
that-
you?
You should probably keep that to yourself, by the way.
No shit. If the people, if anyone of any kind of arcane knowledge, like the basic knowledge of the story of Carsus, if anyone found out that the staff has been stolen, people would go lose their mind. People would go on about end times.
Well,
Funny you should say.
it seems we're on the same page then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can keep my mouth shut. Don't you worry.
This is very refreshing. You're the first person since getting to this continent to actually take it seriously.
Oh well, I've done quite a bit of research on my own arcane abilities and the abilities of others, and many of the schools of magic. And my research did lead me down the story of Carsus and like what he had managed to achieve. It's quite dangerous to know that Carsus's staff is out there in the hands of someone who may not use it for the best interest of the people of the prime material.
Oh, I can assure you he's not going to be using it for the best interests.
Yeah, I kind of figured that, son.
Anyway.
Don't you worry. Well, I guess that just means that I best rake in as much money as I can because, like, and enjoy myself while I can. Because if you lot fail, then I guess we're all gonna die a very horrible death, right?
If you've researched this thing, how do
Maybe able
you
to help us.
destroy it? How do you? Does it have a weakness?
You
Is there a
don't
way to guard yourself from the effects?
You don't destroy the staff of Carsus. There's no guarding from it. It's so the story is that Carsus himself cast the only apparently known 12th level spell in existence, a spell of his own creation, which was called Carsus's Avatar. He stole the body of Mistral, or Mistra, one of the two, and killed the goddess of the weave. Yes, Carsus is one of those individuals who committed deicide. He then was unable to control the power of the goddess, which immediately sundered him into oblivion, which then proceeded to annihilate the weave as us arcane users know it. Mistral, who the formation of the new goddess of the weave, then put in place the restrictions of mortals being able to cast spells above 10th level, which is why we are now only able to cast spells up to 9th level. The most powerful one that we know of at the time, of course, being the Wish spell. And then cast the requirements, the knowledge of the spell of Carsus's Avatar to the farthest reach of the universe, apparently. So, I know if it's your father that has it, he's going to be doing some nasty shit with it. But if your father's successful, then there's no running from it, there's no hiding from it, there's no surviving it. If your father is successful in doing what he wants to do with the staff of Carsus, and then we're all probably fucked.
Do the whole ramifications extend to other planes of existence?
It's hard to say. The ramification of him taking over Mistra and trashing the weave as we know it, I would assume so. the weave embodies like all forms of magic through all planes of existence. If you were to,
Kenjo wouldn't stop at just one plane.
well, it depends on what he does, of course, and that's his name, is it Kenjor? I'll keep an eye out for an individual of sorts. Anyway,
I believe he's working in conjunction with a group called the Myriad.
Myriad. That's those thieves, isn't it?
Mm.
Then there's those thieves, and they have shown their support for him.
Don't understand why, if he's planning on doing something as destructive as that. They won't get anything out of it.
No, I don't think they actually knew what he was planning.
Blissfully ignorant, I guess.
Enough
I
coin
don't-
will turn any head.
That is very true.
Any presence of these thieves in the city?
As far as I personally am aware, no. You do have your pickpockets and the homeless individuals who try and like mug for the coin that you have to try and like live a little longer. But organized thieves at the moment, not that I've known since in my time of being here.
I suppose you'd know. You know, if there was organized crime, they'd probably target a business like this. For really.
I mean, they could certainly try, but they wouldn't get very far, believe me.
They were only here a short time. It may be that they had some affiliation with the Lord and Lady of the city and were simply serving a single purpose here.
Or perhaps if they've only been here for a short time, they've not had the chance to set up base. Perhaps they're growing in numbers.
Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Well, if you can put a stop to it before they come and ransack my place, or at least try to ransack my place, I would appreciate that as well.
As long as we're in that tower, you'll be very safe, sir.
Well, as long as you keep paying me for the tower, you'll be absolutely fine.
Will not be a problem.
Right, so that's enough blabbering away for now. Breakfast? Aye?
I'll have a coffee.
One coffee? Sure thing. Anything else for the rest of you?
Sure.
Do you have a platter of meats and cheeses we could share, perhaps?
If that's your fancy, I mean, I could whip you up something decent for an actual breakfast if you want.
Yeah, your finest. Bring us a platter, sir. Show us what you can do.
Oh, you know what? I'll do whatever I can that's on the menu that won't be offensive. And how do you take your coffee?
Just bring the sugar over.
Just bring the sugar over.
Stop.
Okay, so I'm assuming I'm going to have to refill my pot of sugar after you've had it.
Probably.
Probably. Good to know. with a chuckle, Shakad finally like slowly turns around and makes his way into the back, and you can hear some muffled voices in the back. His distinct male voice, but you do hear another kind of higher pitched, potentially female voice in the back. About 5 minutes go by before he steps out with a small metal tankard with a wooden handle and an old stove kettle that he pops down before you, Corleona, on a wooden platter, and then reaches over and pulls out like a very small, like kind of small dish of sorts, which contains a helping of sugar, and slides it over to you.
All right.
Try
It
not
goes
to use
off.
it all.
Right. I'd like to conjure like 10 pounds of sugar.
Okay, you conjure an extra 10 pounds of sugar, so there's like,
Ooh,
let's say like
I'll-
10 and a
I'll-
half
I'll
pounds of
just-
sugar.
I'll use this one then. So I start spooning it in. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stir it. Taste it. Add a couple more. Stir it. Passable.
Till it
Coffee,
becomes
that's-
syrup.
A little coffee with your sugar.
That's what I was about to say.
I mean,
Sure,
it
I'll.
doesn't actually start tasting until then.
Do you have taste buds?
Yeah, I just usually only taste sugar though.
Interesting. Kind of pops
Mhm.
the small jar of sugar away to the side. Your pastry's disappeared, by the way.
Oh, it has. I know. That's fine.
But he kind of glances over to you. Feel free to either head back upstairs. I do have a key, myself, so you still retain your privacy, obviously. I can bring it up to you, or if you want to stay around this rabble of idiots, then you can sit amongst them, and I'll bring your food out to you once it's ready for you. It shouldn't be too much longer.
How much time has passed since I came down the stairs?
I'd say you've been talking for a good 10-15 minutes.
Okay. I probably have about 45 minutes left of this before I have to do this again.
Well, while the food cooks, I'm going for a wash upstairs in the room. I'm also I never actually looked in any of the bedrooms. We'll look around all the unoccupied rooms and
Mhm.
see if one of them is the lord or lady's chamber, and the rest are staff.
As you go through them all, you don't know which ones are occupied and which ones aren't. You go through the ones that are so on the bottom floor itself. It's essentially just a large common area. The sofas and chairs that you were all sat on with a large hearth. There's actually a kind of small kitchen area. There are no like cooking utensils there, so you can really have cooked anything yourself. But there is places there's like a kettle and a hob and stuff like that for brewing teas and coffees and stuff if you have it available to yourself there. Going upstairs, there is an extra on the second floor. There is like four additional rooms. The first one that you pop your head into, well, actually, the first and second one that you pop your head into, they're empty, but they don't seem too lord like. They're not too extravagant. They look quite similar. Four-post bed, ensuite bathroom, desk, drawers, cupboard, stuff like that. Semi decent view, but it's not too extravagant lord like. The third room that you go into has quite clearly been occupied. You can see what looks to be the backpack of Talar and a couple of her belongings that are stored neatly on the bedside cabinet and such. And the last room on this floor that you take a look into, as you poke your head in, you can see looks to be an open spellbook on the desk. Some crumpled up bits of paper and a couple of blotches of spilled ink that have been strewn across the room from.
Is there still a drunk bird on the bed still
I
sucking
was,
it
I
off?
was, I was getting there. Don't you worry. A couple of strewn and crumpled up bits of parchment and paper dotted all over the place from what you can assume is failed attempts at copying down a spell book, and you can hear the very soft breathing of Barclay, the Bloodhawk, on the pillow of the bed as you glance over to the bed. This is quite clearly Carlina's room.
I'm gonna head back down without disturbing the bird.
Okay.
Unless, actually, oh, I could just wake him up rudely, couldn't I? No, I could cast a little. I've got a noisy little spell.
Have you got like minor illusion or something?
I'm thinking bonfire, but
I mean,
Fucking hell, man.
You could conjure bonfire and
How to lose your wizard in 10 days.
Well, I don't think I'll set Carolina's room on fire. No, that would be bad.
I mean, there is a very simple thing that you could do if you want to wake him up.
We on his face.
I'll just slam the. Okay, I mean, you can if that's the kind of thing that you're into, Adam. I'm not one to judge, but I mean, what
Wake
you
him
could do, Nethari, is you could just slam the door shut on your way out. I'm pretty sure that would wake someone up.
Conjure animals and conjure a couple of cats in the room.
Oh
Third
God!
level.
How many
don't
cats
think
are
you
you
need
conjuring? How many cats are you conjuring?
The lowest level I can cast this spell is third level. So
Yeah.
However many cats you get off a third level.
Yeah, which would probably be about 8.
Probably.
Is that enough
a
cats
clouder
to
of
classify
cats.
it as a swarm?
It's a clouder of cats.
Is that the real collective noun?
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
what is the collective noun of cats?
I think it's a clouder of cats.
A clouder of cats.
I think so.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've looked at my animal groupings.
I like it.
Also, another fun fact, you know what a group of ferrets is called?
A clouder of cats is
A
correct, yes.
fun of ferrets.
No, it's a business.
A business of ferrets.
What?
And-
They're all wearing little bow ties.
And what I looked up, and this is what we were going to do if I moved over to the United States, a collection of bearded dragons is known as a council.
We're all sat around a mahogany table.
So no, the plan was that if I moved over to the United States and had we all had like a set of the 3 bearded dragons. Anytime we interviewed someone to stay at the house, it'd be like we must confer with the council and bring out like a large pillow of 3 bearded dragons and just like present them to the guest. And if the guest was like, if the guest is okay with them, they'd be like, yeah, the council approves.
It would be Dragon's Den, but with real dragons.
But I mean, if you have the Council of Dragons, right, we must confer with the business merger, and there's a group of ferrets.
But anyway, so 8 cats in Coralina's bedroom.
Yeah, I'm not going to be tight enough to shut the door. I'll just leave them in there to.
Okay.
Out of game, for me, in real life, this is a dream. This is dream scenario.
I just see, like, if my cats are anything to go by, there'd be like 3 of them will be up there just sniffing at Sir Barkley as he's unconscious, just doing that like weird sniff thing that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And they just bap.
And just bap, and then Barkley would fly away, and then they'd chase him down and try and hunt him down. Probably, who knows? Because you've walked away, so you don't know what's happened.
Go back to join my friend. Are they in the common area, back in the private apartment, or?
I mean, if everyone else is left to return to the common room before your breakfast meal arrives.
I'm having breakfast, then I'm going to gather my stuff and
So you guys
do
in
something.
the common room of the tower, yeah?
Sure, why not?
All right, cool. Nethari eventually rejoins you all. Not quite sure what he's been up to as he makes his way down. Probably just you're gonna assume he's been trying to find a room of his own to claim since he did sleep on the sofa. And after about 10 minutes, Shakad finally makes his way upstairs to your room. A large platter of different meats in one in each hand as he kind of slowly pops them down. The one thing that you do, or the two or three things that you do immediately recognize is like your typical things like your sausage and your bacon. There's a few bits of meat in the like on the platters that you don't really recognize, and you kind of like slice them all over to you, and on the side there's like bread and butter and salt and pepper and such. He does like point out like there is a grill in your kitchen area that you could use to toast your own bread to wherever you would like it. But he just looks over and here you go. your assorted platter of meats that you can have for your breakfast, minus those that could be taken as a sign of offense, of course.
And what are these?
So
these other meats?
you've got your sausage, you've got your bacon. On the side here, he opens like a very small platter. It's like, I've got some smoked shrimp here. I'm not sure if like shrimp is something for breakfast for you guys. I'm not used to. I say foreigners, but you're just from a different continent, so
I
I
mean,
don't
on
mean
certain
that.
planes it is.
Uh, fair enough. But the shrimp, you've got braised grouse, you've got some goose here, you've got a roasted phoenix, and that's it. Since the last thing we'd call it probably cause some offense.
Roasted phoenix?
Yes, the roasted phoenix.
I thought phoenixes were basically made out of fire.
Oh no, when a phoenix like gets to an age where it is ready to relive, it can burst into flames and reincarnate itself from the ashes. But phoenix aren't immortal. Um, if they choose not to reincarnate themselves, they can just die. And of course, if you hunt them and prevent them from being able to uh, reincarnate themselves, then you can then get a phoenix to eat. Difficult, but not impossible.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm sure somebody needed a phoenix for a spell of some sort. Are they readily available in the market here or what? Or did you have to...
Not readily available. I do have to go and seek out my suppliers to get me a phoenix. But they are, like I said, difficult but not impossible. But I highly doubt you'll get the to see a phoenix in the common marketplace.
I reaches over and grabs a shrimp, munches on it.
Intrigued. I'm going to take a bit of the phoenix meat and give it a try.
It's an extremely sweet and juicy meat. Um, Almost like chicken, but has a bit of an herbal taste to it. If that tickles your fancy at all.
Yeah, tastes okay. And I'm going to tuck in some bacon and sausages.
I'm interested in the things that will cause offense. What?
Well, he kind of like glances over to you, Talar. We do have baked dragon as well, but I didn't want to say that because being draconic, I don't want to cause any offense, and I do mean no offense, of course.
The gesture is appreciated. Thank you.
Say about that.
But
Even talking to the food.
I hope you enjoy your meal. If you need anything more, if you run out of bread or butters or anything else like that, then please feel free to come down and ask, and we can definitely refill your platter. And you're
There's only one last thing. You seem to be extremely knowledgeable about the city and culture here. I assume you would in the trade you're in.
been here for long enough, so aye.
A while ago, we encountered some bandits, and they had sticks, exploding sticks. We heard rumor that these things have been
Aye.
invented in Whitestone.
Aye. They are what do you call firearms? They're it's very strange. There's a doctor. I can't quite remember her name. She holds a special residence within the castle. She's kind of developed them alongside the kind of working along the black powder. Apparently, well, most people know that black powder is extremely combustible, but apparently she's been doing some experiments on a controlled use of black powder. Apparently, I mean, if you go up and speak to the doctor, I'm sure you could inquire about these firearms.
Yeah, we've seen them in action and also seen them up close and understand how they work. So I think we'd all be interested to have a word with this woman. Where can we find her?
You would have to inquire with the Lord and Lady of Whitestone to be able to speak to her. She is up in the castle. I don't know what else I could tell you about. I can't mind her name.
I know who you mean, and I can't remember it either.
No, I actually do remember. It's Ripley. But he himself, Shakad, doesn't.
Oh, I
remember
see.
him.
I see.
See, I do role play as well, Adam. When I'm playing my NPCs, I don't just say this thing because I can't remember some things. But no, I remember her name. I definitely didn't just Google it whatsoever.
I am curious. A couple of our group here overheard some children the other day speaking about a werewolf. Do you know anything about this?
I mean, there's always like whispers of some kind of beastie going about the forests, like wanting to munch up people. Quite the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the next most popular thing for the kids to be going around saying that there is a werewolf going around. A few weeks ago, it was a dire wolf. A few months ago, there was whispers of vampires kicking about. Now it's a werewolf. Just like with the vampires and the dire wolves, odds are it's going to be found out that it's not true, because the vampires, no sign of them. Dire wolves, I mean, there was tufts of fur, but I mean, there's wolves that roam around the Timberlands, quite the thing. But nothing to suspect that it's dire wolves. And werewolves, I mean, werewolves typically only show up on the full moon, and I haven't really heard anything in the last few months of being here. So
I figured you might know something. I
I'll
appreciate that.
keep an ear out, and if anything does show any actual evidence of this werewolf existing, I will let you know.
Thank you.
There's no scary monsters at all around here. We thought we could waltz into this town and become heroes.
You're deluded.
Hmm.
If you think you could just waltz into Whitestone and become heroes, then genuinely, that's no offense, but it's a stupid notion. If there were any monsters kicking about, odds are the Lord and Lady of Whitestone would have it dealt with before you'd even known that it existed. That's probably what's happened with this werewolf threat. It might even be true, and there's whispers going about it, but the Lord and Lady of Whitestone have probably already dealt with the issue, and that's it. In a few months' time, it'll be some new rumor kicking about. I don't know, probably dragons kicking around.
As if dragons don't even exist.
Oh, dragons exist, obviously, but there's not been that many sightings of dragons in Taldori for I don't know how long. But just wait. The next thing that the youngins of Whitestone will start talking about, there'll be dragons flying all over the place, and there's one coming to Whitestone, and it's going to kill us all, and this, that, and the next thing. It's typical. You know, it's kids. They let their imagination run wild.
Yeah, just like the dead rise again and walk around.
I've not heard that one yet, though. The dead coming back to life. That would be interesting to hear.
Yeah, sure would.
That's what's happening in the cry at the moment. No, I heard that? Really? I thought the rumors would have got around by now.
There's
Laura
been
grabs another shrimp and munches on it.
there's been whispers of some strange things happening over in Akai, but it's kind of a small place in regards to Taldori and the likes of Wild Mountain and such. It's a small place. I mean, most people would assume it's quite contained.
Yeah, I hope so. So, Lord and Lady, do they have a decent army then? That they just take care of all those sorts of little.
I wouldn't say an army. They've got well trained men and women that they have to fortify the defenses of the castle, and they have enough men to defend this city. But if it were to be an outright attack on Whitestone, then most people would fall back into the castle, into the boundaries of the castle, and then they would defend the castle until they either won or everyone died. Alright, well, if there's nothing more, I will leave you to your breakfast. I hope you enjoy. And again, if there's anything more that you need of me, please just let me know. And with that, since I'm wanting to avoid the extremely awkward silence for more than 15 seconds, Shakad kind of.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
Well, Adam's gone AFK, I'm assuming, to the bathroom. Kayla's gone AFK. Welcome
Maybe it's
back.
time for a break.
No, he's getting food.
No, I was muted for cooking shenanigans
For food.
and getting food. Sorry, my husband was cooking, so
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
think
fine.
you
That's fine.
the disposal.
But yeah, with that, Shakad, like, he's just about to close the door when all of a sudden there's a sudden large crashing sound coming from upstairs. He kind of stops in the doorway and glances up. You lot don't have anyone else staying here, do you?
I mean, does a familiar count?
Well, no, not really, but with a familiar be, and as he's about to, before he's able to finish his sentence, a bloodhawk, Sir Barclay, comes swooping down the stairs as fast as a bullet before flying straight up and landing on the I can't think, it cross beams across the roof and just looks down. Corlina, you can recognize Barclay's demeanor from a mile away. He looks spooked as fuck.
Barkley,
And
what's wrong?
the moment you ask that, you just hear meow from up the stairs. As you glance over, you can see 8 cats slowly prowling down the stairs, and their eyes are thoroughly glued on Barclay. Okay, this isn't
Those aren't
anything to do.
mine.
This isn't anything to do with me. You guys enjoy your breakfast. bye. And Shakad like kind of steps out and like you hear the lock engage behind him as he steps out of the common room. You now have an assortment of 8 different cats. Some of them are actually slowly climbing up the like the framework of the wall, trying to get up onto the beams, the support beams up above, trying to get to Barclay.
There weren't cats in here.
Cats, shoo. I open the door for the cats to go out. Someone must have left a window open.
Go ahead and roll me a deception check, and 2 an animal handling check.
Cats.
Oh, look at the actual Kitter boy. There's Gatsby. Look at the Kitter boy. Oh, Kitter boy. Okay, animal handling. Yeah, you're successfully able to shoo all but one of the cats out. There's one that's managed to get up onto the beam and is stalking Barclay. That is quite blatantly ignoring your request to get out of the room. Deception 11. Let's take a look. See here. Nope. Doesn't count. Nope. And no, actually, surprisingly, no. Everyone, you can tell by the kind of the smile on his face and the kind of chuckle to his voice that no one left a window open last night. These cats didn't climb up like up 2 stories of a building to then climb up an extra one, like another third story of the tower, at least, to get into a window. Someone has definitely conjured these cats into the building.
Well, we all know he conjures animals, so
Yes, you can all assume that Neftari has done something to dick over Barclay.
Break concentration on the spell so the last one disappears.
You can break concentration on the spell so the last one disappears. As yeah, that's right. As you kind of glance up, you see this cat that's blatantly ignored you, kind of like hunch back, its eyes glued on Barclay, and it just lunges at Barclay. Not going for a bat, but the cats have already backed. They've already backed. This is an attack. The cat lunges towards Barclay before it disappears in a plume of fade dust. And Barclay just kind of like trembles and looks away, not able really to get anywhere else before it disappears. Absolute bastard! What did I tell you?
Barclay, please calm down.
Absolutely not! I am a predator. I do not like it when one becomes prey. He let loose 8 of those absolute disgusting creatures into the room while I was resting. They absolutely disgraceful way that they woke me up by hitting me with their paws, and then they chased me around your room until I was able to escape, and now one of them almost tried to eat me, and you're telling me to calm down after that bastard almost had me killed.
Wait, my spellbook is up there. Like to go upstairs.
Yes, go ahead and
I know the whole thing about cats and books.
yeah, favorable conditions, please. High or low?
Hi.
Grabs another shrimp, munches on it like it's popcorn.
As you go upstairs, oh shit! I'm almost knocking over my green screen. As you go upstairs, could you go ahead and do me a favor and remove plane shift from your spellbook, please?
Oh.
As you enter your room, the pages that you had spent the last few hours of the evening mastering down how to cast plane shift, as you left your spellbook open at plane shift, has been absolutely trashed and torn out by the cats. And do you want to know something? favorable conditions on a percentile die from 1 to 100 goes from 1 to 50 as a low, and then 51 to 100 as a high. Do you want to know what I rolled?
A 50.
I rolled a 50. You're 1 point off from being alright with your plane shift. But no, I rolled a 50. And,
So I'm assuming it like clawed out when like Barkley took off flying, so the cats were like, "Desk, I can get on there." And then just
yes.
rip.
And the cats that were remaining have kind of destroyed the few pages that you needed for plane shift. So, yeah, you don't have plane shift anymore, I'm afraid. Until you recopy it down into your spellbook, of course. But that'll take you, 14 hours.
7. Yeah, it's an hour per, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's 2 hours per spell, and then 1 hour if
It's
you're.
conjuration though.
No, it's not. Plane shift is teleportation, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
Oh no,
invisible
yeah, never mind. Yeah, your conjuration. Never. Sorry, I thought plane shift was not teleportation, transmutation. Sorry, but no, plane shift's conjuration. Yeah, so yeah, 7 hours. Sorry, that's my mistake. So yeah, it would take you another 7 hours to copy it back in, but for the next 7 hours, you don't have access to plane shift.
I just want to grab up my book, put pages up on top of it that have been destroyed. Walk down the stairs, just
slowly present it.
No, I'm not slowly. It's slam.
Bam! Big slam down on desk before you, Nithari, because it's quite clear who conjured the animals and as a means to dick Barkley.
Where's Barkley right now?
Barkley's
in relation to me?
Barkley is like not immediately above you, but he's up in the barriers that like the support beams across the roof. The rafters, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Talar. The rafters above you. He kind of like looks down. Oh no. Oh, you might want to translate this for me, my prince. But Neftari, he's fucked.
Yeah.
It is one thing to set loose some predators to, whether it's an intentional attempt to take my life, or is just another means to irritate me like the bastard that he is. But it is something completely different to leave these animals and to destroy the spellbook that my lady uses. It is her most prized possession, even greater of a prized possession than I am her familiar, which is something to say anyway. I am an amazing familiar, of course.
Well, just know, Sir Barkley, if it had been me, I would have conjured kittens.
Then I would be calling you a bastard as well, Prince.
I'm just going to turn back to the goings on at that point and put my hood up.
Absolute bastard. So, Neftari, you kind of look down at the tattered remains of a few pages of Coralina's spellbook. Just, I can't do it. This hood's too small and this headset's too big. I can't really put my hood up. But...
That was 7 hours of work.
So sorry, I thought they just wait. I tried to mend it.
Ooh. Where is mending? Let me check the mending. Spell from a single break of tail on an object you touch. There's a broken chain link to a. Technically, yes. Technically, it would work.
Spell can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell can't restore magic to such an object.
Exactly. So technically, you could cast mending on it in Authority if you wanted to, but it wouldn't really. It wouldn't really do much because the magic of the pages and the inks that are used to enchant the spell book in order to maintain the magical power of the spell within this book would be gone. It is going to be another 7 hours of work for Corlina to recopy this spell into her spell book.
Sorry, I didn't know. Why don't I help you and perhaps we can halve the time it'll.
Do you know how to reverse engineer arcane theory from conjuring an elemental? And how many kinds of force that's going to be used to bring 8 willing individuals to another plane of existence?
I could give it a try.
No, but you could. I'm willing to learn, I guess.
I love how you could actually see the anger on her face.
I'm method acting. I'd like to just mutter something to myself.
Go ahead and ping me that.
All right.
I just imagine Neftari at the moment, just like hiding away like this.
Just shrunken down, like, please don't turn my, like, make my insides outsides.
Yeah, I like that.
If I
Tlar's
can't
just
see
quietly
you can't
munching
see
on
me.
shrimp and
Right.
other meats and whatnot slowly as she's watching all of this. Like,
Coralina, you appear distressed. Would you like a hug?
No.
Yeah, you just get, like, Carlina just glances up to you and gives you a deadpan look of anger on her face. Just no.
Do I have to tell you to scroll up in chat to remind yourself what you're looking at when you're angry? And you look at Temple.
It doesn't affect her. I can already tell. Like, that's not going to affect her in the slightest.
Put my hood back up. Fuck this.
You could just use your fucking keyboard, Kayla.
No, I can't because I got a cat.
Oh, okay, never mind. Cat. As Gatsby, everyone.
Bloody cats. Trouble they cause.
Mm-hmm.
Mine have been really good tonight. I don't know where they are.
Okay. Yeah. You all just, you don't even hear her say anything. Just you see her mouth move, and she's like Coralina is quite clearly uttering something to herself. And what are you doing now, Coralina?
Oh, that was my muttering, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna just very carefully take up my book, snap it shut, and then I'm disappearing upstairs. Just
Misty step.
upstairs. Yeah.
Oof. Coralina disappears up the stairs.
And there's a very audible like slam of the door and a lock.
A few moments after you slam the door shut and lock the door, there is a knock, which is quite audibly familiar to Barclay pecking on the door.
I'll get the window open,
You
or I
say,
can just dismiss you, and I'll dismiss Barkley, but bring him back on the other side of me.
okay, yeah, you dismiss him and then re-summon him right just on your shoulder. Oh, it was I did tell the prince that he that Neftari, since you I did tell him that he's done something extremely bad. I'm not sure if you heard me. I'm extremely sorry, my lady.
There's like a little like almost like a little catch, like almost like almost like a little bit of a choked back sob. And you were right, Barkley. You were right.
I was right, my lady. About what?
Shouldn't mess with individuals whose IQ is only in the double digits.
No, my lady.
Just sit. I'm going back to the desk, and I'll start working on copying over plane shift again.
My orders to remain silent, my lady.
Yes.
As you wish.
On that note, I have to go take my dog out.
Yeah, go for it. It's actually at that point, because it's actually getting quite late, and it is a good stopping point. I would say that we'll call the session a close here for this evening after another session of pure shenanigans. And oh god, oh my god, I shit you not, I rolled a 50 on that.
Scott, you're a monster.
I'm not a monster. The dice are monsters. That's a 50 and a 0. That's 50 and 0. I can't.
It's okay, guys. Because next week we'll be getting a special prize.
Wait, what?
Oh, special what?
Look what I found in the D and Beyond sources section.
What?
Oh,
What? Rick and Morty content?
Apparently, D&D supports Rick and Morty content.
Evelyn, Rick and Morty have had their own published book on D&D for D&D Beyond for like 6 months now.
They have.
Wow, you nerd! I didn't know that.
I pointed that out to people many times over. No, the next thing we're looking forward to is Explorer's Guide to Wildmount. Yes.
Yep.
That's the next big thing.
What if we don't want to go that way?
So for people that aren't really
Don't want to go that way.
yeah, we don't want to go
No
too
more
far
Mercer.
northeast.
No, I can't take any more Mercer.
No, Mercer,
Get him away from
please.
me.
Mercer, please. No, but no, this is it's actually really exciting, and I'm super glad that it's happening. So, this book, this is what I've been using to. Oh crap! You can't really. Yeah, that.
We can see, just on a delay.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's the fact that what's the green dragon's name again? It was it's not Vuragal, because Vuragal is the white one. I can't remember what the green dragon's name, but the green dragon is green, and I've chroma keyed out green from my background, so it just kind of phases out. But anyway, this is the Taldori campaign setting by Matthew Mercer with James Hayek. I think that's how it's pronounced, Hayek. I apologize if I just butchered that pronunciation. But this is an unofficial campaign setting for 5e. There's Matt's beautiful face as his depiction as his intro for campaign 1. This is unofficial D&D 5e content. The Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, which is it's the same world. It's Exandria, which is where Taldor is set. That's the first region where Campaign 1 took place. Wildmount, actually, if I go ahead and do this, give me 1 second. Drag you guys over to here. If we go over here, so this is where you guys are just now in Whitestone, which is here. If that works, yeah. There we go. So that's where you guys are now in Whitestone, but if we go up to over to here, that's Wildmount right there. So it's basically just split by the Shearing Channel there, just off to your east at the moment. However, the next book to be released, The Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, is a officially licensed D&D 5e rule book published by Wizards of the Coast. So Matt Mercer's world that he has created over the last, what now, going on almost 4 years of Critical Role?
Yeah.
40. Is it only 4 years at the moment that it's been going on for now? Because campaign 1 was was just over 2 years, and then campaign 2 is just about to hit almost at 2 years. So it's like it's 4 years of the show, but the world itself has probably been continuously created and worked on by Matt for the last 8 years or something like that, probably. But his world, his creation, it was a mention in Descent into Avernus. One of the NPCs there, Archon the Cruel, which is actually Joe Manganiello, I believe it's pronounced.
Yeah.
He was a cameo in the last few episodes of Campaign 1. His character was actually made canon in Descent to Avernus. Archon the Cruel, the red dragonborn Oathbreaker paladin. Or well, he's not actually an Oathbreaker; he's just a paladin, but he's sworn to Tiamat. Currently the wielder of the left hand of Vecna. I think it's the left hand. I can't remember. But he was canonically added to 5e in Descent to Avernus, and the mention of his character plate was that he spent a stint in Exandria. It was a mention. That was it. However, this Explorer's Guide to Wildmount is an official book, which makes Matt Mercer's world canon in 5e, which is absolutely amazing. I'm so I'm nobody, but I am so just happy that has happened. Matt Mercer in Critical Role has been such a positive influence on Dungeons and Dragons over the last 4 years that considering D&D 4th edition, nobody really touched 4e. The last time D&D was in the mainstream was at 3.5e, which stopped back in the early 90s, I'm pretty sure. D&D 3.5e. Editions of Dungeons and Dragons. Let's take a look at this. So D&D 5th edition, or 3.5, was 2003, actually. Yeah, so major revision. Oh, sorry, 2000 to 2003 was Dungeons and Dragons 3rd and 3 and 3.5e. That was the last time it was in the mainstream. D&D 4th edition, 4e, and D&D E, which was D&D Essentials, which was a continuation of 4th edition. Nobody really played that. I mean, I dabbled in it at one point, but it wasn't 3.5e, and then D&D 5th edition hit in 2014. So D&D is actually about to turn 5th edition is about to turn 6 years old, which is crazy when you think about it. But D&D hasn't really hit the mainstream for a very long time, and now that now with Matt Mercer, with all the cast members, Marisha Ray, Taliesin Jaffe, Sam Riegel, Laura Bailey, Ashley Johnson, who's now a permanent cast member because she's what was the show that she was in again? Adam, do you remember?
Don't.
Ashley Johnson's show.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like LACIPD or some crap.
Yeah.
But she was in Avengers, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, everyone she was in
and she was the voice of Ellie in Last of Us.
And Last of Us, yeah. But what was she in?
It's
I can't remember what the show is actually called. It was Blind Spot. That's the one.
Blind Spot. One of them shows.
Yeah,
and they run around in power suits for a while and think we're solving crimes. Yeah,
I think so. I've never watched it. I'll be honest. Sorry, I don't watch TV anymore. But yeah, because Blind Spot's finished, I don't think it's getting renewed for another season. Ashley Johnson is now a permanent member of Critical Role cast, so she's not going to miss sessions anymore. Yay!
Yay.
Oh, fuck off. Absolutely not. Get that off my screen right now. Do not superimpose my face. No, that is disgusting, and I'm not allowing it. Get rid of it. Absolutely not. You do not superimpose my face on Matthew Mercer. That is a crime right there. Absolutely not. I am in no way, shape, or form anywhere near as good as what Matthew Mercer is. Absolutely not. But anyway,
All right, I'll do the opposite then.
I mean, if you want to superimpose Matt's first
Don't
on
pretend
Matt's
you're Matt
face onto
Mercer.
mine, I mean, go right ahead and do so. Because I mean, I would wish to be as good as Matt Mercer, but that's not going to happen. But anyway, because Critical Role have been such a massive influence on D&D 5e in the last few years, they have done. I mean, and not just them, because there's a lot of other Twitch streams out there that do a lot of D&D. Like there's YouTube channels and Twitch shows and Facebook pages. There's all sorts of places where you can go in and enjoy Dungeons and Dragons.
A little hint from me as well, if anyone does watch this stream, is if you can watch the High Rollers from 5 o'clock, I think, on a Sunday afternoon, right up until 8 o'clock when they finish on a Sunday, which is directly before this
before us.
starts. So you can get like 6 hours of D&D.
6-ish hours of D&D. Go from High Rollers and how good they do things to us.
But we
It's
gotta
not
I've
as
got
good.
quite into
Yeah.
I watch it before we start the stream sometimes, so I normally catch the last hour, and they have a good laugh as well.
Yeah,
so.
they're a good group as well. But yeah, you've got like streamers like High Rollers, Critical Role, and stuff like that. You've got like a lot of YouTube channels out there, and Facebook groups and such, and Discords and Reddit and all that sort of place that have brought D&D 5e into the mainstream once again. Like there apparently is like some Reddit story of people like like talking to bye Diana talking about games that they're playing to the younger generation, like, oh yeah, you guys are playing Fortnite, and be like, no, we're not playing Fortnite anymore. Fortnite was like so last year. You heard of this game called Dungeons and Dragons? Wait, what the fuck? No, but yeah, Critical Role has done such a massive like job in putting D&D back into the limelight once again with the narrative of the two campaigns and how well, because I mean, you can't really beat professional voice actors playing a tabletop role-playing game and getting into
Absolutely,
the
you can. You do a better Scottish accent than any of them.
That's because I am Scottish, and Americans trying to do a Scottish accent sucks. I mean, to give credit where credit is due, Taliesin, when he was playing Molly, I couldn't think of the character name for the second there, in campaign 2, he did an okay attempt at a Scottish accent, because Molly did have a bit of a Scottish accent. So Taliesin, he's alright, but anyone else? Matt, you ever watch this? I mean, thanks so much if you ever do, but no offense, you can't do a Scottish accent coming from a Scot.
I'll tell you who does a damn brilliant Scottish accent. If you ever pickpocket a dwarf in Adam's campaign.
Oh no, absolutely not.
That's stuff. What are
See,
you doing?
You know what?
I've turned off their webcams at the moment because I'm not fucking about with the settings now that there's only 5 of us in the call now. But
I spent 2 weeks watching videos how to do a Scottish accent after that game because I was so embarrassed. Genuinely.
Adam and Kayla, no, don't do Scottish accents, please, for the love of God.
The last time I did the Scottish accent, it was better.
It was better, yes, but by no means was it good.
It's never going to be good, man.
But anyway, I've been rambling enough as it is. But yes, when Explorer's Guide to Wildmount is now available for pre-order, both physical and digital, on Amazon, probably your local bookstore that sell like RPG stuff, and on D&D Beyond. Most definitely go there and pre-order and help support the release of Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, because I know I'm definitely going to be seeing about getting a physical copy of it, because I prefer to have a physical copy of all the books.
How much is Matt Mercer paying you?
0.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I mean,
if he'll show up here, that'd be great, but...
Yeah, in my wildest dreams, maybe. But, no, I just, like, it's the next expansion to 5e, obviously, so, you know, I want to try and chill out as much as possible. But it's also the fact that it's Matt Mercer's book. This is official canon now. So I'm just super excited about that because, I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, imagine if my World War II suddenly become canon in 5e. That'll never happen, of course, but if it were, it'd be absolutely amazing. But anyway, with that, I do hope everyone enjoys the rest of your evening. I'm going to try and get everything sorted over the next few days to get everything up onto YouTube and stuff. A lot of new things are going to be updated, so the channel name is going to be updated and all sorts of shit. I've got a lot of plans a lot of ideas to change things coming up in the future. But anyway, we hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will all see you again in the next section. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Uh,
Bye.